but they also had all the nasties I didn't like to think about. That was what happened when you grew up in a metal box. Nature scared the crap out of you. I repeat, cargo cruiser model 419, please identify yourself. I almost recoiled at the tinny, no-nonsense male voice that burst out of my console again. Interference from the Black Widow made the communication shriek like the 5 o'clock wake-up whistle in prison. I'd hated that whistle. It had made my stomach hurt. "Answer him, Tess," Jax hissed, nodding to the flashing button. "The longer you wait, the more suspicious they'll get. They're already suspicious. Only a ship up to no good would be anywhere near here." I looked from Jax to Miko. Miko's good hand still hovered over the navigation panel, her dark brown eyes bigger than I'd ever seen them. She looked like she hadn't moved a muscle since typing out the coordinates for Sector 14, where no one was supposed to be. Swallowing a curse, I turned back to my controls and pressed down on the blinking red comm button only long enough to transmit a response. "This is Cargo Cruiser Model 419. It's only polite to identify yourself first." Even space had etiquette. Granted, I usually ignored protocol, but I could still cite it when necessary. Jax groaned softly. Miko looked like she was about to pee her pants, which was odd, because I knew just how hardcore she could get when push came to shove. The same sharp voice came through in immediate response. "This is Dark Watch 12. Captain Bridgebane speaking." Shock jolted me. So did fear. Battleship 12 and Bridgebane? He was a high-ranking galactic general and part of the Overseer's band of science freaks who had come close to carving me up when I was a kid. All the higher-ups had wanted to know what made me tick differently from everyone else. Maybe it was having a freaking heart. I shot a look at Jax, who shot me one back. This whole mess had just gotten exponentially worse. There was no doubt in my mind that Bridgebane would recognize me. I'd grown up, but I hadn't changed that much. I still had the same straight reddish-brown hair, wispy bangs, unusual height, which now put me eye to eye with most men, and blue eyes that stood out from a mile away. Before she died, Mom used to tell me that my eyes made her dream of the great oceans and blue skies she'd never see. And she never did. Dad kept us both under lock and key. And now, ancient history was coming to bite me in the neck and shake me hard. Darkwatch 12 was one of the Galactic Overseer's premier warships and could blow my faithful little Endeavor to pieces with only 2 or 3 direct hits. It was a fully armored beast. And I knew my way around it. If not for my oddities and my conscience, DW-12 might one day have been mine. "Please identify yourself," Captain Bridgebane ordered, "or we will be compelled to board your ship and ascertain your identity ourselves." And there was the galactic military in all its glory. Polite, even while putting a gun to your head. Boarding us was out of the question. There was nothing on my ship that wasn't stolen. Hell, even the ship was stolen. Even the crew was stolen because, well, jailbreak. I reached out and pushed the communications button without letting my hand shake. "This is Captain T. Bailey. You're looking at the Endeavor," I answered, in the flattest voice I could muster. "Captain Bailey, Sector 14 is a no-fly zone. What are you doing in this area of the galaxy?" Bridgebane asked. I wanted to ask him the same question, but managed to refrain. I pressed the comm button again and calmly said, "Taking in the view. The crew wanted a peek at the Widow." I lifted my hand, cutting off all sound from our end, and the longest few heartbeats of my life passed in total silence as the bridge crew stared at me, waiting for their orders. My mind bounced from one possibility to the next. I'd given my usual false name. Any Bailey, especially with only a first initial, was extremely hard to pin down, since it was one of the most common surnames in the galaxy, and the Endeavor had fake ID numbers stickered on both sides.